Once upon a time, in a quaint village nestled between towering mountains and lush green fields, there was a young man named Ethan. Ethan was known throughout the village for his restless nature. His mind was constantly swirling with thoughts. He worried about the past, feared the future, and spent most of his time analyzing every detail of his life. His thoughts were like a never-ending storm, and no matter what he did, he couldn't find peace. He had heard whispers of a distant Zen master who was known for his ability to teach people the art of inner tranquility. Intrigued and desperate for peace, Ethan decided to embark on a journey to seek the Zen master's guidance. After days of arduous travel, climbing steep hills and walking through dense forests, Ethan finally arrived at the mountain where the Zen master lived. The path was not an easy one, but Ethan was determined. The sun was beginning to set as he reached the summit, and there, sitting peacefully by a large stone, was the Zen master. His eyes were closed, his posture was straight, and a sense of calm radiated from him. Ethan bowed respectfully, his heart pounding with anticipation. "Master," Ethan said humbly, "I have come to seek your wisdom. My mind is restless, and I long for peace. Can you teach me how to empty my mind?" The Zen master slowly opened his eyes, a serene smile on his face. "Empty your mind, you say? Very well, I will teach you," he replied in a calm, measured tone. The master led Ethan to a small courtyard where vibrant flowers bloomed and the air was filled with the scent of fresh earth. In the center of the courtyard was a large stone basin, its surface calm and still, reflecting the sky above. "Your task," the Zen master said, "is simple. You must empty this basin of its water. However, there is one condition. You must not spill a single drop of water while doing so. Do you accept this challenge?" Ethan, eager to prove himself, nodded enthusiastically. "Yes, master, I accept." The Zen master handed Ethan a large ladle and gestured toward the basin. Ethan dipped the ladle into the basin and began to pour the water into a smaller bowl placed beside it. As he scooped the water and transferred it, he felt a sense of urgency. The task seemed impossible. The basin was vast and the bowl so small, yet he continued to scoop, pour, and repeat. Hours passed, but no matter how hard he worked, the basin never seemed to empty. His arms grew tired, his mind grew more frantic, and frustration slowly seeped into his heart. His thoughts became jumbled, and instead of focusing on the task, his mind began to race with questions and doubts. How long will this take? Why is this so hard? What if I fail? He tried harder, determined to finish, but the water seemed endless. The Zen master observed Ethan's struggle from a distance. He could see the frustration building within him, but he said nothing. After a while, he approached Ethan and gently placed a hand on his shoulder. "Hero," the Zen master said softly, "you are trying so hard to empty the basin, but you have forgotten the first and most crucial step. To empty the basin, you must first empty your mind." Ethan looked up at the master, his eyes wide with confusion. "Master," he asked, "how do I empty my mind?" The Zen master smiled kindly. "Let go of your worries, your fears, and your attachments. Release your need to control the outcome. Focus only on the task at hand. Be fully present in this moment. When you do this, the rest will follow." Ethan was puzzled but intrigued. He had tried so hard and yet nothing seemed to work. Now he was being told to release his need to control. He closed his eyes and took a deep breath. He let go of his frustration, his self-doubt, and his racing thoughts. He focused on the sensation of the ladle in his hand, the sound of the water flowing, and the coolness of the basin. With each scoop, he stopped thinking about the final result and instead became deeply immersed in the action itself. As he did this, something remarkable happened. His mind, which had been chaotic and restless, began to calm. The thoughts that had cluttered his mind slowly faded away, leaving only the present moment. His actions became fluid and effortless. The water no longer felt like a burden, but a natural flow. With each scoop, the water moved from the basin to the smaller bowl without any difficulty. The more Ethan focused on the task without interference from his thoughts, the more the water flowed smoothly and steadily. It wasn't long before the basin, which had once seemed endless, was now empty. Ethan stood still, staring at the small bowl, filled with the water that had once filled the basin. He turned to the Zen master, his heart filled with awe and gratitude. "Master," Ethan said, his voice filled with wonder, "I did it. The basin is empty. But how? How did it happen?" The Zen master looked at him with a gentle smile. "You see, Ethan," he explained, "when you empty your mind, you allow the universe to flow through you. You become one with the task at hand, and the task becomes effortless. In that stillness, everything falls into place. You don't need to force it. You only need to be present." Ethan's heart swelled with understanding. He realized that the Zen master's wisdom wasn't just about the task of emptying a basin. It was a lesson for life. His restless mind had been the source of his unhappiness. He had spent so much time chasing after the past and worrying about the future that he had forgotten the power of the present moment. He had been trying to control everything, when all he needed to do was let go. From that day forward, Ethan carried the wisdom of the Zen master with him. He learned to empty his mind daily, to release his worries and anxieties, and to focus on the present moment. As he did this, he found peace in everything he did. Whether he was working, walking, or simply sitting, he felt a deep sense of calm. His thoughts no longer controlled him. He controlled his thoughts. Ethan returned to his village, but he was no longer the restless young man who had set out on his journey. He was now a person of peace, a person who understood that true happiness comes not from the past or the future, but from the present moment. His life had changed, and he became a source of inspiration for others in the village who sought peace. They too came to him for guidance, and Ethan, with his newfound wisdom, shared the lesson he had learned from the Zen master. Empty your mind, and everything will fall into place. And so, Ethan lived the rest of his life in peace, a living testament to the power of a still mind. He never stopped practicing the art of letting go, and with each day he found deeper fulfillment, knowing that true peace comes not from striving, but from simply being.